Greetings and welcome to Factorio. I'm Dgray, and today we continue our entry level to Megabase, where we in the last episode just got our uranium mining up and running, and we hooked up some iron and copper loading so we could actually get our concrete made. That was important to get the building things we need, mostly the centrifuges, which is going to be used for quite a lot this episode. So what I've planned is that we'll start to set up some uranium processing, and we'll set up some KOVAREX enrichment and see if we can't get some of the fuel up and running for a nuclear power we'll be making in a few episodes. So I think that's a good idea. Do remember to leave a like on the video, and if you're new to the channel, do remember to subscribe as well. So as we saw last episode, we were setting it up down here with all the uranium, and to be honest, I think we'll just continue building it in this one, getting most of the things we need to continue. So I'll leave that here. I'll let our little mall do its thing with the crafting things, and then we'll go down here and set up our power production so we actually have room for nuclear in the future. So let's see. Firstly, if we look at we just need completely normal uranium processing if we want to do that. Right now we have quite a lot, and that's fine. And we'll just have to get that into uranium-235 and uranium-238. Uranium-235 is the most important as it stands right now, as that is needed both for nuclear fuel and to make the nuclear fuel and what's called fuel cells, and the other one. So how should we design this? If you look right here, inputs wise we'll need about 1 per second. Outputting on the outside might be the easiest way to hook it up. So if you do one belt down the middle, I think that will be the easiest as it stands right now. We'll need about 45, a bit more than 45, but if we do 46, we can consume almost 1. We don't have enough for that, so in theory we can do 46 on each side and then use that to output to the middle. And that is a bit overkill, but at least something like this might be a good start. Do that, and then just split it out going on both sides. Let's just do this. I think that'll be fine. Don't need more than red belts for this, as that is more than fast enough. Input wise, let's just do... Let's just hook up some stack ones. That makes it a bit easier to... Oh wait, let's do it this way. There and in, and in. Bit of power. How should we do it? We can do it like this to make it look somewhat decent. That should be somewhat tileable as well. It is, in case you want to expand this out in the future or we don't get enough in. So let's do this. So that will be our KOVAREX or just normal processing of uranium to get things going. Let's get the power. Oh, can almost reach over here. Ready to go with an output. So before we hook it up, we need to figure out what we do with the outputs. Uranium is pretty much not used, so we might send that to maybe trains that'll store it somewhere, or maybe just having it in storage up here could be quite good, or maybe just adding it in down here. We'll see what we'll do. But what we do want is the KOVAREX or the normal uranium-235, and that is the most important thing, so we can get this process up and running, which is exactly what we want. So let's just hook one of you up. There we are. You can get all the uranium you need and start producing. That will give us outputs. So where should we bring all of this? We could, like I said, get an output down here for all of Uranium 238, as we will make a ton of that. Just having a nice big storage that we can use somewhere around the base if needed might not be a bad idea. Let's just do that and get it moved out the way. As you can see, that's a lot of what we don't need. We can go down this way. What we then need is hook up some KOVAREX enrichment. The reason why KOVAREX enrichment is so important is that, as you can see, you get 40 in, but you get 41 out. That means you'll get unlimited uranium 235 that is needed for the power, meaning that we can get our base to run indefinitely off pretty much just one of these power plants. One of these. That is pretty good. So right here, let's put in a little splitter saying we'll get you out on this side, maybe a bit lower. There we are. Going over this way and hooking up to whatever we need. The other one, you'll just go down here. Probably don't need a fall in, but to be honest, we can just do this since we only have one going in. Just do 1, 2, 3, something like that. Let's just split it out into 4, getting it evenly into these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just have one going into that one. Then things should be more good, and all of this should just work. There we are. You will be Uranium 238, activities above 32k. Because that way we can get rid of all of this we don't need. You can go this way for now and in. So what we need now is the Uranium 235. Pretty much need to get a little loop going where we keep recycling it in and get things used. So how do you do this? Because we do need a small amount of this as well. So we need to get in at least some and then have an overflow. So let's see how we will design it. So let's see if we can design a good setup. A little disclaimer. I'm not the best at setting up KOVAREX enrichment, so you can probably find better blueprints than this out there, but I have a way I want to try. And do comment what you think about it, if it's gonna work or not. So one of the things with KOVAREX enrichments is that you need to have something going out since you have a surplus, but you also need to have something staying because you have a deficit. So we have to design a way of doing that. I want to beacon our KOVAREX enrichment, so I actually don't want to do too many of them. But why don't we try something like this? I'll do it on the same line as we do need this to continually supply us with more resources. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just try this. KOVAREX enrichment up this way. Then we would like to output all the things to this belt. But I only want it to go on the outside. That means whatever is coming from up here as well, I only want you to go on the outside. And I'll tell you why in just a second. Because for these we'll want to input in whatever we are producing. So right now we're not taking anything. We want to take all the items in over here. Being the KOVAREX enriched process Uranium 235 and the 238. The way to do that is making a little loop. But to make sure that it keeps running, we need to have the 238 and the 235 on each side of the belt. Right now we have this going on the outside, so why don't we add what's it called, the 235 on the inside. So if you do write an output and do that, that'll make sure we only have what's it called, the uranium 238 on the outside, and we'll have this on the inside. What we then want is to have you go this way. Put the theory dude up a bit higher. We want you to go over that way and in. Oh wait. Do over this way and in. Because that way we can control that this gets all the resources before we let it go down somewhere else. So what we have is a kind of an overflow system. In this system, we'll put in one more view, and you'll say output priority to the left. That means you'll fill up the right and the left side of the belt before you start to output this way. And then over here, we can hook up a splitter, taking the enriched out to be used for something else, and the other one goes into a little train down here. Because by doing this, we can get a pretty nice setup. Let's just check that we have room for the beacons we'll need in the future. I have to misalign you a small amount. 2, 3. Here. Let's do the same over this way. There, and then we need to move you down just a smidge more, 2 to be exact. 1, 2, and then we'll go over this way instead, and up. Should be fine, and up this way. Then right here, we'll do the splits again, with an up priority on the right. And that way we should have a loop now where this will always have enough of the 238, and whatever 235 we make will also get added into the system. The reason why I'm adding beacons to it is that one of the most overpowered things we have in terms of power is that if you add productivity to these, they all of a sudden become insane. Because right now you get 1 extra every run, or for example if I just add tier 1s into these, that means every 10 cycles, because this gives us, what's it called, oh, every 12 cycles, 12 and a half cycles, we'll get 41 extra. So that is an insane productivity gain that we can't overlook, and which is very important. Also one of the reasons why we want productivity module 3 in these, to get it going. So as you can see, this is filled up, this is going out, in, and then we can use you to make fuel or something over on this side. And, oh, I actually did not make enough room for that. Well, that's brilliant, Dgray. When you're on the inside, did not mean to do that. So you can go there with you, and there we are. And you. So you get maximum speed on these. Let's clear out that on the inside. There we are. Let's just add all of you into these, as I have too much, and have the uranium 238 in the first one. The reason why I'm adding it here is that these will output on the right side. I mean, this will go on the left side. That means this will be the first one that grabs any kind of uranium 238. So this will fill up first, then this will fill, then that will fill, and so on. Making sure we have everything we need and maximum production. The other reason why I'm doing on the line is that if we need to expand this in the future to a different cell, probably won't be needed. We can always just plop it down and get uranium flowing in, and things will look pretty darn good. So this is kind of the setup I want to try. As I said, do comment what you think about it. I'm not quite sure how it is in terms of being good, but I think it will be quite good. There, there, and there. So as you can see, now it's beginning to grab, giving these all the need to continue. And now all we need to wait for is this to produce enough. To increase the speed a small amount, let's just do this and make you just a smidge longer. Let's just double this one. So there, there. Here we get one more in, just to increase the speed of which we are producing uranium-235. And there we are. So this will give us an insane amount of uranium going forward. As soon as these are filled up, this one is filled, that will get it out. And then we can use U to make fuel. So the fuel is quite simply iron plates, uranium-235 and uranium-238. We could, in theory, the same here, do an overflow. But I don't think that will give us enough for the fuel. Because we do require quite a lot of 238. So let's see, how do we solve that? Could in theory just say output everything over here first and then make fuel out of it. Then we'll transport that to anywhere in the world. Because just adding it into a train will take forever until the first train gets moved. And that I do not want. Now, one thing I am debating as well is, should we move these by robots? I don't think I will do it, as I want to have trains moving uranium around, but then we'll have to do a bit of finicky things to not get... Well, that will give us so many uranium fuel cells if you don't do this with robots. But do comment what you think about doing it with robots instead. I might go ahead and do it the first time, just for transporting the fuel cells, as I think they stack quite high, but we'll see when we make them. So that goes, that has 7, that's fine. You're being made, you're getting down here. So we'll want a little setup over here that can make the fuel. For that we do want iron in. So let's just grab a little train that can deliver some iron for us. Let's do this one. You'll unload right here. An insane amount of iron, that's fine. Go in up to a little setup we have here. So how should we do it? This one is its own loop now. That's going to produce all the KOVAREX we need. Then over here we want it to go up and add that, and then the rest can kind of continue ahead. Unless we just wanted to back up. It could actually be that we wanted to back up. Would not be against that. So 1, 2, 3, both lines. So why don't we just do this instead? Yeah, just output over here before you go the other way. So we actually have things going in. And then you'll be used to craft our fuel. It only takes 10 seconds to make 10. So we don't need a lot. We need a bit. Let's see. Let's add in some of you. You could in theory stay here. We'll need 3 lines. So if you... This is going to be such a bad sell. Don't ever copy what I'm doing right now, because it is not the best. Not the best at all. You require 10. So 1 per second. It means this will be more than enough for what we need. Ooh, we need to move you one more. That means we can't get the speed beacon. That is fine. So you'll go in there. Well, let's get the speed beacon. I'll just do it. No, it's not needed. It's not needed. Waste of power. You can go there with the iron, and you can go up this way with 2 other things we need. You will make fuel. This is probably overkill. Getting it out. Taking... Oh, we don't have any long-handed inserters. Let's just grab that quickly. Getting fast inserters to grab iron. I'll grab all the iron, and then we'll get long-handed to grab the two other things over here. So having one here, 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 and here. That's the 3 items in. Then I'll start to produce. Then we'll output it on this side here at the back. There. There. And okay, we can probably do it a bit better, but this looks somewhat fine with the power pools. So as you can see, right now we have this one. Will be the priority to get the 238 and the 235. Because we need this one to work first. Then whatever we have an overflow of here will go down this way. And then if this is not being used over here, it will go down into another train. And I think for now we'll have to have a train for the 235 as well, though it'll take forever until it's full. Filling up. So let's just add one in over here. Not that we can get trains into it yet, that is the main issue. Can't get it in over here. So do it there. And we can actually hook it up this way. We are running out of spots. We have one spot here, we have one spot there. This spot might not be used, to be honest, or anything. We could get you up this way and in up here instead. And we can get the 235 over here. So we have all the trains filled. Is it a beautiful cell? No. I would not say this is my best work. Let's see, where's the loading one? You can load here. You'll load 235 when that's actually full. And then we'll see how much we actually make. So that means you split the 235 out that way. Oh, this is so much spaghetti. I am so sorry, guys. You'll go this way. Across. Don't look at what I'm doing right now. Don't ever do this. It only works because of the way we have built this. God, that is so ugly. And then we say uranium 235. Wow, if that's above 32k, you'll open this train station, so that's never gonna happen. But now we at least have someplace it's stored. We have this one that's storing as well any excess. And this one is getting what it needs as well. So yeah, it's up to 8 now. So now we'll just leave this running, giving us what we need in this rather unflattering setup. God, it's bad. So that goes over here now. Let's just check that it works. Jump over, go over here, gets picked up, gets unloaded, and then at some point we'll actually have this looping around correctly. This one goes down this way, goes in here first, both of them. Go that way. This one gets iron as well. Let's just set up an iron train to deliver it. If iron is less than 8k, that means it's open now. Let's set it to iron unloading. I had to request 2 trains. Oh, that's actually being used somewhere else. So at some point we'll get iron delivered here. They'll go out, they'll go in, they'll go up here. And yeah, I think this is about as good as it's gonna be at the moment. The output of these could go to this train stuff up here. But then again, that is also a lot. That's a lot of uranium. Might have to see if there's some way to limit a train to not have that much in it. Or maybe do a different train where it doesn't empty, it just goes until inactive instead. That could also be a way to do it. It doesn't unload as many uranium fuel cells. But do comment of a good way to transport this by train, as it's very, very low volume. And a train base is very, very high volume. And I don't just want robots to do it. That seems too easy just to get that transport around like that. But I will end the episode here. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I'm a bit skeptical about the way I set this up. But I'll let you guys be the judge of it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Do remember to leave a like on the video. Or dislike if this is completely bad. And subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. If you want this blueprint, or some that's actually better, do jump on Discord. I have a few there. The train depot and such. They're all uploaded there a few weeks ago. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I've been Dgray, and I'll see you next episode. Bye.